This is my video log on the dialogue heterosexual norms in a not so heterosexual world. I feel like my group achieved dialogue because there was no arguing or no debating, there was no back and forth. Our group really just listened to the opinions of everybody, and our dialogue facilitators did very well. They did their job excellent. They had a PowerPoint done, and they did a good job facilitating all of us and listening to each one of our opinions and also making each one of us join in with the discussion. A lot of times in groups you have people who don't really want to join into discussions. They don't like conflict. They don't like sharing opinions. They're shy. Our facilitators did a good job of making sure everybody contributed to the discussion, to our dialogue, and I feel like they did their job perfect, and they're the reason why our dialogue went smoothly. There was no arguing in our dialogue, and nothing got out of hand, nothing got heated. Everybody shared their opinions pretty evenly, I think. There was a few louder people in our group, me as being one of them, that's very opinionated. There are a few active voices in our dialogue, and me being included. And then there were also a few who didn't really want to share their opinions. A lot of times the ones who didn't want to share don't like conflict, and that's okay. And in our group, there were a few that didn't really want to think out of the box or step out of a comfort zone and didn't want to contribute, but the peer dialogue facilitators encouraged them to do so and actually had all of us say at least one thing. So there were active voices, and there were some who spoke little or very little, but I think it was overall a good dialogue, and there was equal amounts of opinions from each side. Those who believe this is a heterosexual world with, and whatever their opinions were. I think this is a good thing. Library 100 is a good thing because it helps students learn the difference between discussion, debate, and dialogue. And it helps you realize, like, you're from a different place than a lot of people. It's me and 19,000 other students. There's gonna be differences in opinions, and these dialogues really teach students how to take those differences of opinions and turn them into a discussion rather than a debate or rather than an argument, or to turn it into something that it shouldn't turn into. I was an active voice in the discussion because I'm a very opinionated person. I'm very outgoing. I also have strong opinions on homosexuals and heterosexuals, and I myself believe that homosexuality is not a choice as much as it is biological, and I voiced that opinion in our discussion group, and it was met with some opposite opinions, but we discussed that, and we made like a pros and cons, and we set up different scenarios so that we could each talk through our opinions. And I feel like I learned a lot, and I also feel like our dialogue facilitators did a good job of showing us how homosexuality could affect us. We did a little exercise to show how homosexuals are shunned from families and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, so that we would see how they feel. And that was really eye-opening, and I really felt like I was shunned, and I really felt grateful for the life I do have. And I learned a lot about how different people are and how different people's views of the world are based on how they were raised or where they were raised. And I have grown up in a small community, a small town my whole life, so I didn't really realize there were different ways of seeing things and doing things until I came to Clemson. And that's a really great thing about the dialogue, is I learned about other people's beliefs and views, and I met new people so that I'm more culturalized. I can see that there are other things out there than what I believe in and what I come from. And I feel like the dialogue was really good about that, is showing us that we're not the only people in the world. There's different places out there and different beliefs out there. And it really helps you be more open-minded and less closed-minded about the world and new things. And I think Library 100 should keep this portion. This was actually one of my favorite portions, was the video dialogues and actually go into the dialogue. And if you were going to leave anything in the curriculum for Library 100, this would be the number one thing to keep in there. It's very useful, and I learned a lot, and I think that it could be very helpful to other students in the future. My name is Katie, and thank you.